Hey, welcome, like that. Welcome to Daily Iconic. Today we are interviewing a good friend of mine. He's super cool, and he's done a lot of amazing things in his life. So I'm excited to hear him talk about himself to you.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Yeah, for sure, Aaron. What do you think about this?
Be your own biggest fan. Judge yourself less so you can create more.
That's a quote from Gary Vee. I wrote it and I put it right here, and it's been really helpful for me as I'm doing music, as I'm doing these filming projects, as I'm writing, because I tend to just judge myself and sometimes hold back and censor myself because I'm afraid of other people's opinion. And
Oh yeah, I feel like that happens a lot, especially with music. I feel like a lot of artists, musicians, or anyone that's creative or doing something never quite feels satisfied.
Yeah.
There's always something that could be tweaked or changed. I wish I could have just done this differently, or a painting. Wish I had done this line a little bit differently. And I think at the end of the day, it's all about really just expression, but trying to be less critical of yourself, I think, makes things a lot easier. Oh, it's good enough, but I feel that when I'm more critical of myself, I tend to do and create more intense pieces of work. So it's kind of, it could be one way or the other.
Right. Well, and I forgot to introduce you. I was so excited to start talking to you. So you're Aaron. Can you tell us your name, beyond Aaron, and what you do, and what makes you so cool? I think.
Well, my name's Aaron Bomo. I play in some rock bands, metal bands, really. I do a lot of touring, traveling. I do a lot of studio work, recording.
Didn't you just get back from a tour?
I did. I just got back from. Well, we did Eastern Europe. We did a couple dates in Russia, a date in Latvia, 2 dates in Lithuania, and 5 dates in Ukraine.
Nice.
So I've seen a lot of places, been a lot of places.
How was Chernobyl? Is that how I pronounce it?
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. So I went to Kiev, had a day off, realized that Chernobyl is only 2 hours away. So we drove all the way up there. Well, you basically rent a tour. You pay to get on a tour, and they take you all the way up there. They take you into the exclusion zone, and they basically show you the reactor and some of the abandoned cities around, like Pripyat, and it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Pretty intense. Something that I never expected that I was going to do.
Yeah, that's definitely off the beaten path, which I love.
Yeah. That's the kind of exploring I like to do. When I go to a place, I'm more or less interested in the nooks and crannies and the cultural places, and not so much the touristy, eyesight kind of stuff.
Right. I want to visit. I think it's in Pennsylvania. It was the inspiration for Silent Hill.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to go there as well. It's a old mining town, and actually the coal mines are still on fire.
Yeah, that's what makes it so creepy, because the smoke still comes up from the ground. I don't think that you can actually go in there safely.
I don't think you can go into the mine. I think you can go into the city. I mean, your eyes will probably get smoked out. And
Probably smell smoky.
Yeah, I mean, if you wear a mask, I'm sure you could be fine. But I mean, even with Chernobyl, they finished the sarcophagus on the reactor, so you're getting more radiation flying in a 9-hour plane flight than you do spending 4 hours right next to the reactor itself.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was expecting to have a high dose of radiation leaving there, maybe equivalent to an X-ray or something, but nope.
Nice. Well, it sounds like you do a lot of interesting stuff. So what is the biggest success that you've had?
Well,
and the reason I ask is because people watching myself included, get inspired by other people, and I love to hear firsthand like someone's own interpretation of their success, because people talk to me and like ask me for help with certain things like business and all that. My perception of my own success is a lot of times is different than other people's, just looking at it from the outside.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Honestly, being the success that I feel like I have today is just having a good steady job and being able to take time off to tour and travel and do the things that I love to do. Essentially working so that I can do all these things instead of living just to work. But I'd say like I have plenty of big accomplishments. The Halcyon Way album that I recorded with the band that I play in was a pretty big accomplishment for me. It was the first time that I was recorded like high level recording. Playing the song of your people.
I won't apologize for the choo-choo train.
But that was the first time I was pressed onto vinyl. So I have a copy of something that I actually made and recorded, or I was on it, and it's on vinyl, and I can listen to it on vinyl, analog media, which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
I've got a couple other points of success that I think are big stepping stones for me that are gonna be coming soon.
Yeah.
Mainly other musical projects that I've been working on. But I think ultimately just enjoying life and like getting to do the things I love to do makes me feel successful.
Absolutely. And I thought it was great how the way you put it, where you're talking about basically, you know, you work, but you have experiences and you have like structured your life so that the work you do is going towards those experiences. So you're not just grinding it out day after day, like pointlessly, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And trapped in that, you actually have a passion, and everything that you do goes towards like that passion. I think it's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what, if you care to share with us, what is the biggest challenge that you faced? And this can be as personal as you want.
I was actually, there's several big challenges, but I was actually tying on to the last question of being successful things. It's the end of 2019, it's 2020 already, we're in January. And everyone always posts the F 2019, it was so terrible, blah, 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 and I'm going to do this in 2020, and then if they get to the end of 2020, they're going to be negative again, that this year was awful, I'll do better next year. Hey, at least they're striving to do better, or they want to do better. But I feel like always looking at the negative side of things just kind of keeps you always pessimistic about things in life. And for instance, 2019, I had a neck injury. I had 2 discs go out of my neck, locking up my arm where I couldn't move barely at all. I had to cancel a tour. I couldn't play drums. I'm a drummer, that's what I do. Well, I play other instruments. But, and I was out of work for 6 months. I got badly into debt. I was struggling to basically do my basic things that I enjoy. I couldn't play music at the time. It was really, really tough. But in the end of all of that, I came out on top, and I kept striving to be able to continue to do the things I love. And yeah, 2019, I could have easily said, yeah, 2019 was a crap year for me, but it really wasn't. I ended the year going on an awesome tour. I met new friends this year. I've had shared new experiences this year. I've learned a lot about myself and this year. So I ended it with a brand new job.
Nice.
For an awesome company. So, I mean, it really is kind of how you look at things.
Absolutely. I think that a lot of times in my own experience in life, my biggest challenges have become my most powerful message that I can share with others.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think struggling and overcoming that struggle is what kind of makes successful people successful.
Yeah, I think the struggle, like that friction, you know, actually like refines us. And when we're going through it, if we choose the skillful perspective and like grow as a person, when we get to the other side, we can actually like stop and feel fulfilled and really experience that success instead of just hopping on to the next thing. Because I know for really ambitious people like myself and like you, I'm sure like once we achieve it, it's kind of like, what's next? You know, I got this now.
Yeah.
But getting
oh yeah.
But during all the friction and the struggle, getting in the habit of being mindful and present and appreciating things and having that gratitude, I mean, then you're just well rounded when you do achieve what you set out to achieve.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see. I have some questions written down for you. I want to make sure that I got to them. So you talked about your successes, man. All the cool things you've done with your band, and how you structured your life to support those. Who did you need to become to experience that success? You know, on a journey, we usually start out as one person, and at the end of the journey, we're somebody totally different. We're shaped by those experiences and the struggles and little victories. So who did you need to become?
To be honest, I really feel like I just needed to become okay with myself. And I think every experience I have is always a learning experience. I might try to start on some project and get into it and really realize I'm in over my head. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to ask for help. I need to find some guidance on this. But once I complete that, or whatever it may be, I feel like part of me has changed or grown or learned or done something. So I feel like I wouldn't say that there's any specific trait or quality that I've needed to become to get to where I am, but I think it's almost like playing an RPG game. You go on one task and it builds up your stamina. You go do another task and it builds up your charisma, or you go do something else. You're always getting experience points, I think, in life, and I can't really say that. I definitely can say that I have aspirations and people I aspire to be like, but I don't think I can honestly say that I feel like I need to try to fit into something or become something that I just feel like it's kind of a go with the flow. Like, and whoever I become at the end of the day, I need to be all right with that.
Absolutely. I think that's a strong skill set to have in and of itself, is that self-acceptance and flexibility. You know, like Bruce Lee, right? I'm going to quote Bruce Lee, but he has that quote about being water, and being able to basically just like shift with the environment with every situation that comes up, being able to bob and weave with it, right? Instead of that resistance, because that resistance is the cause of all the pain, of all the issues in life. Yeah.
I've been stressed out a lot recently, and it's things that I could easily just kind of go with the flow with, but I've got I get to a certain point once you get kind of successful, or depending on what area you want to look at it, whereas in this instance, it's me being a homeowner. I've got to fix these things, and they got to be a certain way, and it's starting to build stress because I'm starting to kind of fight the flow of things instead of just like, all right, I need to do it this way. I need to just kind of like grow with this process.
Definitely. What are some tips people can use to become a stronger version of themselves? You mentioned self-acceptance and going with the flow. What are some tips you could give people to accomplish that?
I think, honestly, what I tell people more often than anything is about expectations. If you expect something to become a certain way, if you expect a piece of art or a piece of music or a composition to turn out a certain way, or if you expect others, for me, I work a lot with other people. So I have to always be on guard with my expectations and coming up to a wall where somebody's like, no, I feel like my contribution needs to stay this way, and everyone needs to kind of shift and flow around it, or someone might feel more stronger about their particular part or whatever. When in reality, everything is kind of like cogs and wheels and a clock, and it has to fit and work together in order for the whole project to kind of come together. There's another thing that I find myself always kind of
Yeah, you know, there's just so many different ways, and I think it's so interesting how everybody has their own perspective and their own like experience, and how our own experiences can shape our approach to the same like strategy, the same goal, whatever it is. And people can bring different things to the table that I might not have expected to hear. And I think you brought up a really cool point about being involved with other people, especially in the creative process, and how I would imagine that, and I know from my own experience, how that requires flexibility, right, and a lack of expectations, but also requires setting boundaries and having compassion and being able to see things from the other person's point of view, so that you know when to give and then when to push back for the ultimate betterment of the project. You know, so yeah, I mean, I think that endeavor in and of itself, being able to maneuver that gracefully, requires a lot of skills. I mean, it's cool that you were able to do that and take it out into the world, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely, it can be trying at times.
Oh no, my phone fell over. I'm still not gonna apologize. I don't know. Whatever, they could hear the audio. Can you guys see me? I'm still rolling with it. Let's just make sure that we can see. Yeah, because we've been going this whole time. Shit.
I don't know when it fell over.
All right, just go ahead and let's close it out. What were you saying?
I have no idea.
Dude, it was super in depth. It was super deep. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, Aaron, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you, man. And you had some good stuff to share. So if anybody wants to learn more about you, your band, whatever it is, where should they go?
They can find me on Instagram, va.aaron. va.aaron. I can't say it. Everyone says Aaron. Oh, like Aaron. Like,
that's Key and Peele, right?
Key and Peele skate.
That's awesome. Cool, dude.
Halcyonway.com.
How do they spell that?
HALCYON HALCYONWAY.com.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. And thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Do you mind holding this? We're just going to do it like this, right? So this is Daily Iconic, helping you to make every day iconic. Please leave a comment below. Click subscribe. Do whatever you need to do to support this. And I'd love to hear your feedback. If there's anything you liked about this, let me know, and I'll do more of it. If there's other things you want to see be done differently, let me know. I can probably keep the camera upright next time for the whole experience. I don't know, unless you just like it like that. Just let me know. We can flip-flop it all day. Okay, have a great day. Bye, guys.